The wind is strong today. The clouds slide away, and the moon shines through for a brief instant. The silver moonlight shines into the shed, illuminating the girl who appears like a knight. I am speechless. And it's not because I'm confused by all the things that just happened. The girl before me is so astonishingly beautiful that I'm at a loss for words. The girl's eyes, like precious jewels, stare at me without emotion. I ask of you, are you my master? Her voice sounds so valiant. Master? I can only repeat her words back to her. I don't understand what she's saying, nor do I know who she is. All I know is that this slender, delicate-looking girl is similar to the man outside. She says nothing, continuing to look at me in silence. I don't know how to describe her. She's special. So special that I forget entirely about the man outside, even though he might attack at any moment. Time seems to have stopped. Even the fear of death that I'd felt moments ago vanishes, and there's only the girl standing before me. Servant Saber, I have come in response to your summons. When did I summon? A knight to my service? Master, please give me your orders. Okay, don't let that other guy kill me. Oh, hello, Aaron the Apple. What are your thoughts on the Minecraft movie trailer? I'm highly skeptical, we'll say. I think the creative decisions on display in the trailer are baffling thus far. Both in terms of casting, general style. Yeah. Production-wise, it doesn't even look very good with the super obvious green screening, so... I know, withhold judgment, you never know. The final product could be amazing, especially if the writing is really good or something, but... I'm unimpressed, as of right now. Anyways, back to this. It's the second time she speaks. And the moment I hear the word master, and the moment I hear the word master and the name Saber echoes in my ears. Ugh. Oh, I got an achievement. Became Saber's master. Perfect. Pain shoots through my left hand. It's hot, like being branded by an iron. I unconsciously press the back of my left hand. Taking that as a sign, the girl silently nods her beautiful head. Henceforth, my sword creates your destiny, and our fates shall be intertwined. And thus our contract is formed. What? Contract? For what? Am I installing a new pool? Do I need a new video editor? Like, what's going on? I'm still mage in training, so I understand what those words mean. But the girl doesn't respond to my question. She simply looks away with the same grace she'd shown when she nodded. She turns toward the shed's ruined door. Outside, the man readies his spear. Should release on April 1st. Would be fitting, maybe. She moves faster than expected. The girl in knight's armor leaps out of the shed without hesitation. And the other thing that baffles me about the Minecraft movie is obviously we don't really have that much in terms of details of the plot or anything, just from the one trailer that's unreleased so far. But I will say, just based on the setup thus far, I would be shocked if it doesn't end up being basically a ripoff of the Jumanji movie they made a while back, where it's like a video game. Like, it seems, just based on the setup that they've described, it seems like it's probably going to be basically that. Which, granted, from what I understand, I haven't watched that movie. I think it was fairly well received, but it almost doesn't matter because knockoffs generally do not replicate the quality of whatever they're knocking off. Anyways, the girl in knight's armor leaps out of the shed without hesitation. What? I forget about the pain I feel and get up to follow her. She can't possibly go up against that guy. No matter how heavily armored she is, she's smaller than I am. Stop! The echoing clang drowns out my words. What? I can't believe what I'm seeing. My head really does go blank this time. Who the hell is she? The clash of swords echoes around me. The moon slips behind the clouds and the yard grows dark once again. And within the darkness, sparks fly as steel strikes steel. Without saying a word, the spear-wielding man meets the girl who leaped from the shed. She parries his spear and knocks away his other successive attacks, driving him back with each attack. Ooh, this music's nice. I can't believe it. This girl, Saber, is somehow overpowering the man. The battle has begun. What happened between that man and I earlier doesn't even count as battle. A battle? That's a fight between two people, each able to kill the other. No matter the difference in ability, it can still be called a battle as long as both are able to kill the other. In that sense, these two are fighting a battle. The man attacks her, swinging his spear so quickly I can't even see his strikes. Somehow, she parries his every attack perfectly, with something as she closes in on him. Damn. The man backs up slightly, clicking his tongue hatefully. He holds his spear vertically to ward off her attacks on his side. Ooh. For a moment, his spear glows. His attack almost looks like it caused an explosion. The man's spear sparks, as if electrified every time whatever weapon the girl is wielding strikes it. The man and I both could tell what it is. It's furious magical energy, so dense it can actually be seen. Her attacks are charged with incredible amounts of magical energy. The unbelievable amount of magical energy crackles along her opponent's weapon every time they make contact. The sheer force of her attacks must be staggering. If the man's spear strikes are precise, like a sniper rifle, her blows must be like the overpowering blast of a shotgun. Each of the girl's attacks bathes the yard in flickering light. And yet, that's not what's overpowering the man. Coward! Why are you concealing your weapon? The man curses at the girl as he evades her unrelenting attacks. She doesn't respond other than to step up her attacks with her invisible weapon. Oh, it is invisible. Huh. Just noticed that. That's kind of cool. Ew. The man retreats, having hardly so much as a chance to counterattack. Her weapon is invisible. Without being able to determine the weapon's range, it'd be reckless to go in for an attack. That's the trouble with an invisible weapon. But she's definitely got something in her hand. I can't make out anything of its shape or length. Maybe it's transparent to begin with? No matter how many times sparks fly from it, I never get a look at the weapon's profile. Parrying her strikes must be taking a lot out of the man. His movements aren't as sharp as they had been. It's the first sound the girl makes. She attacks all the more furiously. It's a merciless, unyielding dance of blades. The flying sparks remind me of a blacksmith striking iron. And the spear-wielding man continues defending himself as he disapprovingly clicks his tongue. Honestly, I can't help but to admire the man, even though he tried to kill me. He's able to defend himself from an invisible weapon, relying only on reading the girl's swings and footwork. That's all he can do. When an opponent is so completely on defense, the only thing you need to do is beat them down. The girl steps in closer. She smashes down, striking with all her might. Don't get carried away, fool! Seeing his chance, the man disappears. Or rather, he retreats back as if to disappear. The girl's swing cuts through the air and smashes into the ground, kicking up dust. Her massive swing, which seemed to be a fatal blow against the quartered spearman, proved easy to dodge. That fool, what the hell is she thinking? Even I could tell what happened, even at this distance. Her careful, precise attacks earlier may have worn the man down, but the tremendous swing meant to deal her finishing blow wouldn't ever touch him. The relentless attacks must have put incredible strain on the man's body as he tried to defend himself. Yet he suppressed that pain for a single moment to jump away. He knew that her last attack would determine the victor. Ha! The man jumps back several meters, then comes in to strike once again, the moment his feet touch the ground. He jumps in a triangular pattern and leaps toward the girl as if revisiting his steps. The girl's sword is still embedded in the ground. It's a fatal opening! The red spear returns in less than a second. The girl twists her body around like a top. Her sword is still embedded in the ground. The whole thing happens in a matter of seconds. The man sees his mistake and tries to correct, as the girl uses this brief moment to use her whole body to attack. Ugh! Both the man and the girl seem unsatisfied, though. Both struck intending to kill. Both survived, so everything leading to this moment was in vain. The two open a bit of a distance between themselves. They both just quietly stare at each other. The strain the battle inflicted on them seems to be too much. Well, thanks, yeah. We're enjoying it so far. What's wrong, Lancer? Would you tarnish the name of all warriors of the spear by just standing there? If you aren't going to attack, then I will. Running to your death already. Fine by me. Let me ask you one thing first. Is your noble phantasm a sword? He phrases his question so bluntly. He glares as if trying to look through her. Who can say? It might be a battle axe, a spear or sword, perhaps even a bow. Keep talking, Saber. Somehow this conversation seems to be amusing him. The man called Lancer briefly lowers his spear. It looks as if he's saying he doesn't want to fight anymore. The girl seems puzzled by Lancer's move, but I know what his stance means. I remember the fight at school a few hours ago. It's the killer move that was supposed to have ended the battle. I'm going to ask you one more thing. Since this is the first time we've met, want to call it even for now? Not a bad deal, right? Your master looks pretty useless, and my master's a big coward who won't even show their face. Don't you think it's in both our best interest to hold off fighting until we're in better conditions? I refuse. You will die here, Lancer. Is that so? Man, I just came here to check things out. I wasn't gonna stick around once a servant appeared. Their wavers. Their surroundings appear to distort. Lancer lowers his stance. A chill creeps into the air. The same thing happened earlier. Magical energy rumbles as it forms a vortex at the tip of the spear. A noble phantasm. The girl readies her weapon and glares at her enemy. I don't need to speak up. She knows very well how dangerous the enemy is. She is the one confronting him. See ya. Your heart is mine. The beast kicks the ground. Lancer appears in front of the girl so quickly he may as well have teleported. He takes his spear and aims at her feet. Even to me, that seems like a poor choice. Saber's best girl? We'll see, we'll see. Based on my experience with the visual novel so far, I'd say she has some stiff competition, at the very least. I can't see any way an attack would be effective with the spear pointed at the ground in front of her feet. Apparently thinking the same, the girl leaps over the spear toward Lancer, intent on striking him down. Oh, a leap. I'm not sure about that. Strategic choice. Jumping, leaving the ground, it locks you into a certain trajectory, which perhaps was the whole goal of this move. Therefore, for Lancer to then take advantage of. But at that moment... Hey! His words alone radiate immense magical energy. Hulk! The spear released from below angles toward... The spear, released from below, angles towards the girl's heart. I think there should be a comma somewhere there. Anyways. Excuse me? Her body hangs in the air. The blow sends her flying in a wide arc. She smashes heavily into the ground. Okay, good. She's not... Well, she got hit, but... She's probably fine. And I recovered from getting launched across. Oh, she's not looking good. She's bleeding. She had been unscathed until now, but her heart is pierced, and she's bleeding profusely. This seems bad. A curse, or a reversal of fate. I'm just as bewildered. But watching from afar may have given me a better perspective on how bizarre the attack was. The spear had been aimed at her feet, I'm sure of that. But then it just changed direction, moving and stretching impossibly to pierce the girl's heart. And yet, the spear itself neither stretched nor changed direction. It seemed bizarrely as if the spear had been thrust into her chest from the beginning, almost naturally. It wasn't as simple as the spear changing its trajectory and piercing the heart. Oh no, he has a quantum spear. He has a spear which obeys the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. It's in all trajectories simultaneously until it's measured, and it's measured by stabbing you. How do you win against that? The spear didn't change course. It altered truth itself to make that happen. The moment he spoke those words and released his spear, the intent of piercing her heart had been realized. Essentially, his attack reversed cause and effect. The result of the attack, piercing the victim's heart, is predetermined, so the spear's trajectory is merely an afterthought to establish the facts. It's a demonic splinter that breaks through all defenses. The moment it determines the target, the spear pierces the heart every time it's used, without exception. How could anyone defend against such a completely insane attack? No matter what effort the target makes to evade, the spear will always pierce their heart, which makes it fatal. An accursed spear that always pierces the opponent when used. However, the girl evades by a hair breadth. The spear did penetrate her, but it didn't hit anything vital. Her actions in evading the spear seemed even more impossible than the spear itself. Lance does beat sword. Ah, dang it, you're right. You're so right. It's Fire Emblem logic. I should have known. The moment the spear was thrust, the girl turned and reversed direction with an incredible effort of will and strength, as if she knew what was going to happen. She was either incredibly lucky, or had just enough protection to dampen the spear's curse. Whatever it is, the girl managed to avoid the fatal blow, and so survives Lancer's ultimate attack. The girl tries to get her labored breathing under control. Although she had been losing a lot of blood, or a lot of it, blood stopped seeping from her wound, and even the wound itself is closing up. I guess she heals pretty quick. That's nice. So this is what a truly extraordinary person can do. I knew she wasn't normal, but she is more than outstanding. In terms of her skills in the fight against Lancer, in terms of the incredible amount of magical energy used for every attack, her body recovering on its own, she is obviously superior to Lancer. Like, I will say, scene construction-wise, this is a very nice scene, a very nice sequence of events here. Because simultaneously, it builds up both characters in the scene, right? Both Saber and Lancer here. Because, you know, obviously Lancer, the obvious one is like Lancer's amazing skill here of like he can just decide, yeah, I'm hitting you, and that's just going to happen, which is insane. But also the fact that she was able to counteract that to an extent, it builds her up too, which is impressive. NASA works rely on D&D logic, so luck stat is an actual thing. Oh, interesting. Good to know. Well, that's only up until now. She may be healing even now, but her wounds are deep. If Lancer attacks now, she won't be able to defend herself. And yet, even though he's at an overwhelming advantage, Lancer doesn't move. He audibly grinds his teeth. And he glares at the girl. How the hell did you evade my fatal Gebolg saber? His voice seems to rumble up from the ground itself. Did you say Gebolg? So you're Ireland's child of light. Oh. Oh, okay, okay. Lance's expression darkens. Okay, so if it... Irish. Interesting. I'm not really up on my Irish history and mythology, unfortunately. His hostility dissipates, and he clicks his tongue in annoyance. Damn, screwed that up. If I pull this move out, it's really gotta be fatal. Sometimes being famous is a bit of a pain, you know. The only thing I'm coming up with, like, there's St. Patrick. I'm not sure if St. Patrick is known for having wielded a spear. The oppressive mood lightens. Lancer no longer seems to have any intent of attacking the wounded girl. He turns his back as he walks to the corner of the yard. Now that my identity has been revealed, the usual servant rule said we should fight to the death. But, like I said, my master's a coward. They've been telling me to retreat since my spear failed. Are you running away, Lancer? Fall if you like, Saber. Just know that if you do, I'll kill you. He lightly bounces off the ground. It's a wonder how agile he can still be, but Lancer jumps effortlessly over the fence and disappears before anyone can stop him. Wait, Lancer! Saber, I appreciate your dedication to the cause of the martial arts and fighting to the death and whatnot. However, in a time like this, perhaps it makes more sense to retreat and regroup. The injured young girl turns and starts running in pursuit. No, please stop that. No. You've got to be kidding me. I cross the yard as fast as I can. If I don't stop her, she'll go after him and maybe get herself killed. It turns out I don't need to chase after her. She tries to jump over the wall, but the moment she crouches to jump, she doubles over and grabs her chest. Okay, good. Well, I mean, it's not good that she's injured, but good she didn't run off. Look, I appreciate the valor, but we need a bit more strategy here. I hurry over to check on her. Well, I intended to just approach and call out her, but that went right out the window the moment I got near her. She is completely unbelievable. The shining silver armor she wears looks extremely heavy. The clothing she's wearing, dated as it is a bright, vivid blue. I've never seen anything like it. No, her clothes are not what really enthralls me. She is absolutely beautiful. Her golden hair, illuminated by the moonlight, is extremely fine as spun gold. Her face is graceful, with a trace of innocence, and her smooth white skin all but glows in the moonlight. I'm speechless. Her beauty completely takes my breath away. How'd this happen? Seeing a girl wounded in a fight made me absolutely furious. As I stand there gawking, the girl remains silent, her hand clamped over her chest. I managed to quit staring pretty quick. She lifts her head and lets her hand fall from her chest, her pain seeming to have eased. You know, that's no reason for you to go run off and hunt this guy down. I'd right this second, okay? We need to talk. We need to have an actual strategy meeting and figure out what we're actually doing here. She looks directly at me. I don't know quite how to respond to that gaze, but then I notice something. Your wound's gone. The spear missed her heart, but it did pierce her chest, yet there's no outward sign of a wound. I've heard there's a kind of healing magecraft, but she didn't seem to use anything like that. That must mean she can heal herself, no matter how wounded she is. My mind switches gears. I shouldn't be gawking at her. The girl is unbelievable, and absolutely should not let my guard down around her until I know who she is and what's going on. Who the hell are you? I take half a step back as I ask the question. What do you mean? I am Saber, a servant. You are the one who called me here, so you needn't ask. Saber. Servant. Yes, so please address me as Saber. She says it so casually. There's a touch of contempt in her tone, but it remains mostly gentle, and hearing her voice makes my head go blank. What? Why the hell am I getting agitated? I see. That's a weird name. I cover my burning face with a hand and respond stupidly, but I honestly don't know what else to say. Besides, how else would she respond? And I just ask her what the hell she is. And it'd be rude for me to not respond. I'm Shiro. My name is Shiro Amiya, and I live here. There's something wrong with me. I'm saying the dumbest things. But, well, she did give me her name. It's only polite that I give mine. I know I'm confused, but it's still important to remain rational, no matter who I'm dealing with. The girl, Saber, just keeps watching me in my confusion. She moves not an inch. Forget all that. That's not what I was asking. Is that, I know very well that you are not a typical master. Eh? Yet you are still my master. As long as we have formed a contract, I will not betray you. You need not be on your guard around me. Crap. I hear her, but I couldn't be more lost. The only thing standing out to me is that she keeps referring to me as master, which is weird because I don't remember summoning any, attractive, apparently amazingly competent female warriors. So, yeah, that actually is kind of weird because in the prologue when we were Rin for a bit, it was like this whole very involved, very particular process to summon a follower, a familiar, which even just she kind of botched hers slightly just by I was slightly off in the timing. Whereas me, I didn't even try, and now I've got, as I recall, I think Saber was the one that Rain was trying to summon in the first place. Because Saber's apparently, I think, the best one? So, I don't know how I just kind of randomly got the best one. Just kind of fell into that without even trying, but, I mean, I'll take it, I guess. You've got it wrong. My name's not Master. Very well. Then I will call you Shiro. Yes, I like that better. Though when she said my name, I thought my face might actually burst into flames. Isn't it a bit more normal to call someone by their last name when you first meet? Yeah, in Japan. That is the cultural custom, I believe. Wait, why would you choose to address me like that? No, but the other guy's from, apparently, Ireland. So if she's hails from, a Western tradition, then she might not be aware of that custom. Ah. A strange sensation tingles through my left hand. And, I mean, in all likelihood, she seems to be from a Western origin, just based on her outfit and stuff. And that's striking me a lot more as, Western sort of knight. It's hot. The back of my hand is burning. A strange pattern appears on the back of my left hand like a tattoo. And so what? I believe, in theory, all of the people, of the followers, are supposed to be based on, historical or mythological people. So I wonder who she's based off of. What? Those are called command spells, Shiro. There are 3 spells which command a servant's obedience. They are a master's very life, so please use them carefully. On you? Shiro, please heal me. Do I know healing magic? I'm not sure I know healing magic. So seemingly weak, more strategic mage gets the strongest, and the strong act first. Think later mage gets the strategic summon. Fun. Yeah, I guess that is kind of how it seems to have gone. Her tone is cold now. In theory, it really shouldn't be that difficult to kind of logic out who she is, right? And there aren't that many female swordswomen. I don't know, I'm just going to say female swordsman because it sounds better. To go off of. It seems she's not focused on me, but something elsewhere. Wait, are you asking me? Sorry, I don't know how to use complicated magecraft like that. And you're already healed anyway. And the only, or not the only, but like the most obvious, like, oh, we'll do like female, medieval looking swordswoman. Could be Joan of Arc based, I guess. I don't know. I don't think Joan of Arc would be. Joan of Arc would not be like a super overpowered sort of person though, because her whole thing wasn't really combat for the most part. It was more so like her effect on the morale of the soldiers that was useful in the 100 Years' War. I don't know. Don't think too hard until it's revealed? Okay. Saber frowns. But I like thinking hard about things. I feel like I've said something that disappoints her. Then I shall face them as is. My regeneration has only repaired the superficial damage, but one more battle shouldn't affect me. One more battle? What do you mean? There are 2 enemies outside. From what I can sense, I am sure I can defeat them in a few seconds. Huh? Oh no, oh no, oh no, wait, we're at the end of the prologue, chronologically, aren't we? Wait, I'm not even sure, is that good or bad news? Because, like, obviously I've got a certain attachment to Rin, having spent, hours with her in the prologue, and then I don't necessarily want her to die. But simultaneously, right, if we've got Saber here, that by implication means we're in the Grail War now, I believe. And so if we're in the Grail War, then just objectively speaking, killing any of our competitors is like is an unmitigated good, right? I guess. I don't know, I'm torn. Oh, Saber leaps over the wall effortlessly. Well, I don't get much of a choice in this anyway. Just like Lancer, she makes it look easy. And now I'm just alone in the yard. Enemies outside? I realize what she means as soon as I say it. Wait, are you going to keep fighting? I move without thinking. I run as fast as I can toward the gate. I reach the gate, unlock it with trembling fingers, and jump out. Saber! Are you here? I strain to see in the darkness. Clouds have completely obscured the moon, leaving it pitch dark. Now of all times. But I hear something nearby. There! I run to an empty pathway. It happens all in an instant. I see a familiar man in red and Saber fighting. Saber rushes him and breaks through his guard in a single sweep. She easily cuts at the man in red. Saber raises her arm ready to... But before she's able to take his head, incredibly powerful magecraft causes him to vanish. Saber doesn't stop. She dashes right at the person standing behind the man in red, and effortlessly negates the potent magecraft they'd unleashed. What? I knew she was strong, but this is just unreal. That was a sort of intervention magecraft way beyond anything I'm capable of. Most magecraft is way beyond anything I'm capable of. But nevertheless, well, man might have been able to cast something with a bit of weight to it, but I'm not sure even a first-rate mage could just cast something so powerful with a drop of a hat like that. Even so, Saber nullifies the magecraft as if it were nothing. The enemy must be a mage, which means this match's outcome is decided. The mage's attack doesn't work on Saber, and Saber drives at them mercilessly. The mage falls backward with a thud. The enemy miraculously dodges Saber's attack. They can't move anymore. Saber corners the enemy and levels her invisible sword at them. My mind freezes. Maybe it's a momentary glimmer of moonlight. I will say, real quick, the invisible sword, I wonder if that's, like, going to continue, like, trend with her? Like, that's just her weapon, is the invisible sword? Or if that's just like a limited time thing or something. It's an interesting choice of weapon, though. Very cool, I will say. And certainly the strategic benefits are obvious. I wonder if there's any further meaning behind it, though. Anyways. But I see that Saber is attacking a human. Makes sense. I can't tell who it is specifically, but the image of Saber killing someone, their blood staining her hands, suddenly fills my mind. Saber moves in. She's going to slit open their throat with that invisible sword. Saber, stop! I scream as loud as I can. Her blade stops cold. It's probably best for my sanity that I can't see her sword. But the tip of that invisible sword isn't wet with her opponent's blood just yet. Stop! I beg you, Saber. I glare at her as I speak. If I'm going to stop her, I need to prepare myself to give everything I've got to do so. Why are you stopping me, Shiro? She is Archer's master. I must put an end to her, here and now. No! Saber has absolutely no intention of stopping. She only stopped because I told her to, but she still holds her sword at the ready. I'm telling you! Wait! You keep calling me master, but I still don't understand what's going on. If you're going to address me that way, then wouldn't it be right to explain yourself first? She does not look happy. Saber doesn't answer. She just stands there, staring at me. We're going about this wrong, Saber. I don't even know who you are, but I'll listen if you tell me. So please, don't do this. Saber is silent. She still holds her sword to her opponent and stares at me, her lips downturned in dissatisfaction. What do you mean, don't do this? Is this an expression of your idealistic belief that people should not needlessly harm another? Well, I mean, yeah. That's kind of generally how society tends to like to work these days. Don't needlessly harm another? Well, yeah, it's better to avoid conflict as much as possible. But I'm not so soft-hearted as to feel sorry for someone who's attacking me. So you're saying that nobody should take the life of another? Even should they be an enemy, correct? I'll not obey such an order. One's enemies must be defeated. If you still wish to stop me, then use your command spell to order me. Oh, Saber, you're putting me between a rock and a hard place here. What even command should I utilize if I use the command spell? Huh? I'm suck at you. A girl shouldn't go swinging swords around, especially if she's already hurt. Yeah, call me, I don't know, a bit of a doubter, a negative Nancy or whatever. Somehow I doubt the argument that girls shouldn't be swinging swords around is going to work very well on the girl whose name is literally Saber. I feel like that argument would be DOA. Oh, wait. I don't even know if that's a sword to begin with. Anyway, you shouldn't be doing this. In that moment, Saber's mouth falls open in stunned silence. I don't know how much time passes with her just standing there like that. Does Saber have an Ahoge? Is that the thing that, like, is often going on in... Is that the thing that's often, like, anime of, like, the hair part that's, like, sticks up? Is that what that is? Not super familiar with that term. So, I'm wondering, when Saber here is going to lower her sword? Yeah, okay. The person who'd fallen to the ground speaks up out of nowhere. Saber instinctively grips her sword. Give it up. I would never lower my sword in the face of an enemy. Even though your master is telling you to? Is that so? I didn't know servants, especially sabers, defied their masters. Saber grits her teeth. but she lowers her sword, loosening her grip a bit. She must have put her sword away or something, because she seems suddenly much less hostile. I just realized, wait a minute, did we never actually see Rin die in the prologue? Huh. I was sure she was dead. Okay, so now I can stand up now, right? Whoever it was that's been on the ground finally stands. Jared's words may sound sus sometimes. Well, I mean, I don't think in general, like, what he was saying there is, like, I mean, it's just kind of, I guess, somewhat chivalrous, I guess, would be the origin point of that. Like, I don't think that's wrong inherently or anything, but I'm just saying, in this particular instance, where the girl's name is literally Saber, somehow I doubt that she would be persuaded by the argument that she shouldn't be, you know, cutting people down with her sword. Let's see. Whoever it was that's been on the ground finally stands. They act brazen as they pat the dirt from their bottom. Wait a minute. That's... You're Tosaka? Yes, good evening, Emiya. Rin Tosaka replies with the biggest smile on her face. This is unbelievable. I don't know what to think anymore. The way she greets me so casually makes me question whether everything that happened was even real. Well, so you were the one who cast the MageCraft earlier, which makes you a mage. Well, we're pretty much the same, so I guess there's no sense hiding it anymore. Hearing her be so blunt about it makes me seem like the idiot here. Anyway, let's talk inside. I bet you have no clue what's going on, right, Emiya? As she says that, she walks towards the entrance to my house. Wait, Tosaka! What the hell are you thinking? You can't invite yourself into my abode. I have to invite you. At that moment, when Tosaka turns around, her smile has changed into something completely different. Don't be silly. I'm thinking about a lot of things, and that's why I'm offering to talk. Emiya, I know you're surprised by all the things that just happened, but sometimes you just have to accept certain things or you'll wind up dead. This, by the way, is one of those times. She glares at me, and I can see actual animosity in her eyes. I see what you're saying. Okay. Gotcha. I'm glad you understand. Now let's get inside. Tosaka walks through the gate. She seems really pissed. Well, I don't blame her. Just a moment ago, she had a sword pointed at her, and she was about to die. But still... Maybe it's my imagination, but I think the Tosaka at school and the one I see right now are completely different people.